I welcome you to the first webinar of the EUdatathon 2019. It's the open data competition of the Publications Office in partnership with the Romanian presidency and a lot of EU partners. First, I hope that you can all follow everything and the technique is working. I think that's the case. Very good. You can ask questions all the time in the chat box, and please mute your microphones so that we don't have any other noises in the background. The agenda for today is the following one. My name is Simon. I'm from the Publications Office. I will present you the Datathon, the rules, the concept, what you need to deliver in the end, what you can win. Afterwards, Natalia, also from the Publications Office, will present you the EU Open Data Portal. Then Syster will present you the European Data Portal. And after this, Peter from the European Commission, DG Budget, will present you a very interesting, innovative challenge which you could address. So let's start. And here you can see the EUdatathon website. And it also explains you the whole process. So you see, 2 weeks ago we launched the competition, and now the most important date is the 24th of March, when the participants need to submit their project descriptions. What does it mean? I will tell you in a few seconds. After your submission, 2 weeks later, we will notify you if you are shortlisted. If this is the case, you have 2 or 3 months to develop your application, and you're invited to the final conference in Brussels. So, first to the challenges. This year we have 3 challenges, and this webinar is for the first challenge. So it's innovative ideas through EU open data. What does it mean? We want to see your creativity, how to reuse open data. And this challenge is very broad and open, so we really want to not restrict you in any way. The only thing you need to do is to reuse one dataset from the EU Open Data Portal. Then you can combine it with any other dataset. And in the following webinars, we will present you a lot of different datasets. And that's also the reason why we do the webinars, to give you a first glimpse what you could use, but it's not. You don't need to use them, you can use whatever you want. The second challenge will be in a webinar next week. It's new insights into economics and finance. And the third challenge will be a webinar in 2 weeks, and it's tackling climate change. So the other 2 challenges are more precise, and for all of them we will present you interesting data sets. So for the prizes, maybe that's the most interesting for you. We have 3 times as much prize money as last year, because you really need to invest a lot of effort, and I think it's also then fair to give you nice prizes. So the first prize are 15,000 euro, the second prize 7,000, and the third prize 3,000. This means for each challenge we have 3 first prizes, 3 second prizes, and 3 third prizes. Our partners this year are Eurostat, the European Central Bank, and we have 3 DGs from the Commission: DG Budget, DG Economic and Financial Affairs, and DG Energy. Additionally, we also have the European Environment Agency for the Climate Challenge, the European Investment Bank and the European Investment Fund for the Finance Challenge, and the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations for the Climate Challenge, and also the Joint Research Center of the Commission, and they will also publish extra data sets for the Climate Challenge. Maybe a short glimpse about the rules. What is important for you is maybe the evaluation process. So in the first round, you will just submit a 1-page document, and we will select you on the criteria of relevance. And after this, if you are shortlisted and we see, or you develop the final application and you present it, we will have more criteria like the open data reuse, the solution proposed, and the excellence. We already talked about the prize funding. what is also interesting for you, that 2 team members will be reimbursed if they're invited for Brussels, so you don't need to come up for travel and accommodation. All the webinars we are doing in the coming weeks will be on Datathon website, and you can also see the schedule for the coming weeks with the agendas. And all the old webinars are also there for the EUdatathon 2018 and the EUdatathon 2017. This means if you find interesting data sets there, you can also have a look, and you have always a short agenda, so you can look if the topic is interesting for you. If you find an interesting data set and you see, okay, I want to work on this data set, I want to combine it with a different data set, and here you are completely open, you can use whatever data set you want. You need to submit your project, and it's here under project registration, and it's a quite simple form where you give a team name, some metadata about yourself, and you describe your team, your application, and in the end, basically, it's a one-page document. And what we want to see is, of course, your creativity. We want to see that you can reuse open data in innovative ways, that you can create new businesses, new services through open data. To give you an idea what the competition is about, you can also check the previous years, 2018 and 17. And for example, here are all the finalists for the challenges last year. So you can have a look and see what they did. Maybe you can find some inspiration there, and you could do something similar. And you can also have a look at our promotion page and download all the pictures or press releases in 24 languages and tweet and post about it. So now I would give the floor to Natalia.
Hello everybody, and welcome also from my side to the third edition of the EUdatathon 2019. My name is Natalia, and I will guide you with a live presentation through the European Union Open Data Portal. It is a single point of access to the growing range of the EU open data provided and published by the European Union institutions such as Parliament, Council, European Court of Auditors and the Commission, many of the European agencies and other bodies. We published over 13,000 of datasets. All of them are open for reuse for commercial and non-commercial purposes, given the sources acknowledged. We have more than 70 publishers on the portal, providing their data from very different domains. The portal is a catalog of metadata, which is leading you to data itself. Metadata is multilingual and harmonized. It gives you direct access to data downloads or to the databases from where you can retrieve your data of interest. The portal is for you also a tool to search, not at the hundreds of the single websites, but for the single entry point, data you are looking for. If you already know what you're looking for, the simple search here on the top would be the best perhaps to start your exploration of data and the portal. If you are in the exploratory phase and you would like to know what data EU public administrations provide, you can explore the portal by browsing it. The data is categorized with the top level topics, which you can see in the right corner here, covering various domains as energy, environment, social topics, health, budget, and others. You can go to one of the topics to explore the range of datasets available there. But there is another way to look at the data. Normally your questions will be more cross-domain questions, like you would like to know something about transparency of EU administration and from the point of view of administrating, so for example, how the parliament is voting, and from the point of view of budget, how the EU money is spent, which grants are allocated, which projects are run by the EU. So you will find all this data also on the portal. You might have questions to legal domain. We have a big collection also of legal data. And by the way, when we talk about data, we don't mean only statistical data, which is one of the biggest collections as well at the portal provided by the European Statistical Institute Eurostat, but we talk also about text and reference data. One of the very interesting collections, just to give you a flavor a bit of what you can find, is multilingual data we provide to you. It is a unique collection because you will find data in 24 languages, like the full translation memory of the European Union Commission, and other reference data, many of multilingual taxonomies and vocabularies, which you might like to use when you will analyze, classify the data you are using. What I said right now is reflected here in the most viewed data sets. It's indeed what people appreciate the most. Information about the tenders, projects, multilingual assets, and transparency-related data. You will find the recent publications also listed separately, so it can give you a hint what might be very fresh and new, as well as you can explore the publishers, going to the Publishers Corner. Data is provided in many formats. Many of them are open and very suitable for carrying out analysis like CSV or Excel. We work also towards linked open data formats, and you will find some datasets in this format. Depending on your skills and technical abilities, you can search and explore our portal in different ways. The one I showed to you is a simple search box. By the way, you can run a multilingual search using, for example, let's say in Italian word aqua. You will find the data sets on water, not just in Italian, but in all available languages. But if you are technically more advanced, you might use our application profile, and you will find more information in Developers Corner. Or you might go directly to the Sparkle endpoint through the Linked Data tab and try to explore the linked data. Basically, it is the full catalog which is available there, plus some additional data. But this is not all. We also try to showcase the reuse cases and make your work visible and discoverable for others. At the Applications tab, you will find around 100 applications published by institutions, but many of them are coming directly from community, reusing EU data that are interesting visualizations and analytical applications of those data. Data is often combined, so new insights can be gained from there, and you perhaps might also find inspiration going through already available applications. The applications which were winning the last Datathon are also published here, and we are looking forward to see your applications after the Datathon also published and publicized through our site. From my side, it is everything. We are here to help you with your questions. If you cannot find something, please contact us. If the formats you find on the portal are not covering everything you need, please let us know, and we will try to help you as much as we can. We are looking forward to get inspirations from you, to see the new combinations of data, and good luck.
So, thank you very much, Natalia. I would now pass the floor to Esther from the European Data Portal. Esther, please.
Thank you very much. I would like to share my screen with you so I can show you some more. Please let me know if you see my screen.
It's working perfectly, thanks.
Very well. Well, thank you, Natalia and Simon, for inviting me today. My name is Esther Huja, and I would like to introduce to you today the European Data Portal. As you will see, there are similarities to the EU Open Data Portal. So I also like to point these out to you. The European Data Portal is an initiative run by the European Commission as part of the Digital Single Market with the aim to increase the impact of open data. This is why we are particularly happy to support this year again the EUdatathon. So thanks again to Simon and you, Natalia, for inviting us, and thanks to the audience today for joining us today. So the European Data Portal. The European Data Portal supports the member states by in collecting and publishing their open data. So that can be geodata, weather data, traffic data from the different European member states. In numbers, that means on the European Data Portal, you can find more than 880,000 of datasets from 34 countries with metadata available in 24 languages. Before I'd like to show you a bit more the European Data Portal and how to find data there, I would like to tell you a bit more about the bigger picture of the European Data Portal initiative. In 2015, we started to support the collectors and publishers of open data in the EU member states. That means we help with the selection and proper publication in order to have the best quality and quantity of open data available for anyone to reuse. Important topics here are, for example, the machine readability, the licensing, or the quality and standard of the metadata that describes the different datasets. We support the member states, for example, in tailored and general support workshops and guidance and e-modules that you could also find on the European Data Portal that explain a lot about topics like I just mentioned, like licensing and metadata vocabulary. This is what we do on a publisher side, let's say more the beginning of the value chain of open data. But as you know, impact of open data is created when open data is reused. This is why we research open data trends and maturity across Europe to showcase and support the uptake of open data. So we'd like to engage with the community, also move here, engage with the community to increase awareness and literacy about open data and its reuse. You'll see it on a portal that in order to do that, we publish reports and news and also best practices of open data reuse. So how can you find open data on the European Data Portal to be reused? There are different ways, and one is the multilingual tag word search that Natalia also explained to us already, and as well as Sparkle Link Data Query. You can also use different categories and a geographic filter and different tools of visualization. With if you have any questions, you can also always reach out to us. And to make this a bit more approachable, I'll move to the European Data Portal website right now to show you how that works in very practical. So as you see here, you can enter your tag words or choose for the Sparkle query. That will open another window where you can run your Sparkle query. Or we go back to the main site. Below, you'll find different categories of data sets. So for example, I can now, if I'm interested in environment data, I would click on environment data. And I might want to know how traffic in Italy has an impact on the environment. So, but I don't speak Italian, so I'm German, so I would type in the German word and run the multilingual tag word search. And then I could select on the left side Italy, because this is the country that I'm right now interested in. And due to the e-translated metadata, I can find data from transport, private transport, public transport in the category of environment, and can browse these data sets now, and in the next step might compare them to data from another country. Another feature I would like to show you in selecting and searching for data sets is our geographic filter. These are now all of our data sets, and when I would like to say that I only want data sets from a specific region, I can move to the area I'm interested in and mark the field and apply this query. And then all the data sets are researched, and then I'll only get the data sets based on the geographic area that I selected here. So that takes a little while. We're not needing to wait for that right now. And the last thing that I would like to show you, what I already said, is our library of showcases. We call them use cases. And here you could browse through almost 400 use cases where organizations and people reused open data and created applications that create an impact of open data. So having said that, we really like to showcase these great examples of how you can create impact with open data in our library, and this is why we are really curious to see how you will deal with the challenge and what great ideas you will come up to in reusing open data. So for me, I only have left to say that I wish all participants good luck, lots of success, and lots of fun. Thank you very much.
So, thank you very much, Esther. We have a question in the chat box, and it's from Alessio, and he's asking if the portal is supporting SDMX, and I would ask Natalia if she could reply to us.
So SDMX is the statistical format for publishing data and metadata. Our portal, we are publishing metadata in the DCAT AP standard, and SDMX has been mapped to DCAT AP standard, so we can say that we are in a way interoperable.
Okay, thank you very much. Then I will pass the floor to Peter Moos from the European Commission DG Budget. Peter, can you share your screen?
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, it's working.
It's great. So, hello everybody. Good afternoon from Brussels. So, after the very interesting presentations on the data sets and the open data portal, I have one single idea or set of ideas how you could participate in this 2019 Datathon. I'm very proud that the Directorate-General for the Budget is able to participate in this exercise. So, what would we offer to you as an idea is that the EU budget is financing a lot of projects around Europe and beyond. And what we do have, we have certain databases. One of them exists here on our website, and we are managing it here at Directorate-General for the Budget, where we have a small selection of EU-funded projects. You can find different information about projects, the name of the project, how much the Europe budget contributes, and this database is, I would say, limited to only a couple of projects, and we have found out that there are existing databases. Some of the databases are managed by the Commission, And the database that is managed by the Commission is the so-called Financial Transparency System. This Financial Transparency System is on the Open Data Portal and downloadable. Annually, the Commission manages around 50,000 projects, and there is data since 2007 about projects. Here you can see just the projects in 2017 in Spain. Here you have a detailed information about the projects. What you will find out that there is a lot of information that's about grants. That's, for instance, the program is called Connecting Europe Facility. What is interesting also that you have the beneficiaries of the projects with their addressees. As I said, we have this on the Open Data Portal. Here you can see this is the Financial Transparency System. And just for the participation in EUdatathon, we have included also our small database I was referring to in the beginning. These databases are run by the Commission. However, about 75% of projects in the finance from the European budget are managed by EU member states. And the member states do have the databases about the beneficiaries and about the projects. So what I'm showing to you is a website. You can have a look at it. It's a website that has been created in the country I know best. And that is a website that should contain all the projects that the Czech Republic is responsible for. These databases are not part of the EU open data, but what we will provide to you is we will provide to you links to the databases. And if you will, I will show you the whole Excel file with the links of different databases about projects in different countries. So as you can see, there are quite a few databases. What is our suggestion and idea to you is to use and open data sources, the different sources, the EU institutions, our sources, and the sources of member states, put it together and create a map of EU-financed projects. We would imagine that you could create also some different visualizations. As you could have seen before in the EU data portal, it would be also interesting for us to get, for instance, projects per region or per amount of financing or per EU program, as I was showing you Connecting Europe Facility, because that's part of the data that is being provided. That is one idea. If you would be willing to face that challenge and go further, you could also give us a possibility how you work with that data and consolidate them. What is happening is that our data is not consolidated. So even the two databases that we have now on the Open Data Portal that are linked to the projects, they are coming from different databases, and there might be slight changes. But maybe you could find ways how to consolidate the data, eliminate the duplications. The challenge is also that the data is not available the data is available only in one language, for instance in Greek. So you would have to face the challenge and structure the data with different language sources. It's only missing here, so I'll just put it down because that's missing in the presentation. So that's about all. I hope that's an interesting idea. So if there are any questions, I'm ready to answer them if I know the answers. If not, then I will ask the organizers to provide you the answers that my colleagues may prepare. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I think this data set is really valuable, and as everyone could see, it's just published for the Datathon, so it's brand new, and I think you can do a lot of things You can check the databases in your home countries, maybe see new insights, combine it with different data sets. And for you now, the most important deadline, as said, is the 24th of March. And if there are not any more questions, I would close the webinar and thank our presenters for their presentation. And I would thank everyone for joining. The webinar will be made available, as said, on the webinar's website. So if you want, you can have later also a look. And in the coming weeks, we will have more webinars for the other challenges